What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with a new Extinction video. And today, guys, we'll be showing you how to get started in Ark Extinction. Now, as you guys are aware, it's pretty much just recently dropped, and as far as I'm aware, I haven't actually seen any guides on how to do this, or like tips and tricks sort of thing. Today we'll be going about it how we would normally start off in, obviously, a new map, new area, new dinos, and all that sort of stuff. So guys, we're just going to go about a little bit of a rundown just based on what we've actually done so far in Extinction. We haven't actually had a chance to like properly play through it, but by, you know, obviously getting everything going and doing all those other videos, we've had a bit of experience with it. Now, first off, obviously the first thing that you are going to want to do is just straight up get as many levels as you possibly can. Now, once you get all your basic levels and pump up whatever you require, pretty much you want to make sure that you get your tools. Obviously, you guys are going to be going about doing that. And the next best thing is, if you're ever concerned, make sure you spawn in the sanctuary area, which is pretty much this whole midsection of the map. Now, obviously, you can spawn in the other sections. I personally believe, though, that it is easier to start off in this area. Now, once you've spawned in, you've gotten all your resources, all your basic resources. So you go about getting your pickaxe and your hatchet. You pretty much want to find one of these guys, one of these droidicas from Star Wars. You want to find one of those. Stick with these guys, and they'll essentially not really protect you, but attack anything in the area around you. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why is that a good thing for, CJ? What are you doing? You're setting us on the wrong path. Well, the good thing about this is that these guys actually provide you with a source of hide. In the earlier levels where you're kind of starting off, if there aren't any dodos or anything easy to kill in the area, you'll find that you won't really be able to get much hide available to you, which is where the droidicas come in. Now, these guys run around and pretty much attack anything on site. They are pretty hostile, anything organic, like non-bionic. So anything that's not a robot, these guys will attack. I've seen them attack stegos, I've seen them attack anything living pretty much. Now, the good thing about that, like I said, is that they provide you with a source of hide, and as well as that, they also actually give you a source of levels. Because think about it, if you stick around with those guys and, you know, they're killing something and you've got a spear or your bow out and you get the final shot on them, that's a good source of XP for yourself. You know, if it's a stego or something like a trike or something like that, that is a nice, decent chunk of XP that you can earn. Now, just a little bit of a note here. We are currently, everything is on 3 times. Actually, I don't think the XP is on 3 times. So all our gather rates are on 3 times. So do take that into mind as well. When you see us gathering stuff, it's because it's on 3 times. Now, eventually, you're obviously going to want to work your way up to metal tools. I personally would stay in Sanctuary until you reach that level. There are explorer notes scattered about the Sanctuary section. The easiest way to find them, I've found, is you want to look for the main city parts, and you can normally find them on the bridges and like the little, what are they called? Little like pedestals, I guess you could call them, the little city structures. It helps greatly finding these explorer notes because some of them give you 4 times XP amount, and believe me, that is really helpful for starting off. And you can see here we've got one explorer note right here next to us. So these guys are scattered around most of the Sanctuary map. Well, obviously they're scattered around the entirety of the map, but starting off in Sanctuary is where you want to be because, like I said, that will grant you the easiest source of XP. Now, if you have a dino tamed with you as well, that'll make it a lot better because obviously your dino will be getting the extra XP as well. You can see that we just got it 4 times. I don't know if it's because we're on single player, and I'm not 100% sure if it's the same case on official servers, but on single player it's a huge boost. You can see that just from gathering that explorer note we got 8 levels. So obviously you want to level up whatever the heck you guys like leveling up. Me personally, I like leveling up weight and stamina first, because regardless of where you are, you will die pretty fast. So there's no point in leveling up health just yet. Now obviously you can get into bows and arrows and that sort of thing, so that'll help the levels come to you a little bit quicker. But once you get high enough level to get into metal stuff, that is where the fun begins. Now, one of the best early tames that you can get is the Pteranodon. Obviously, these guys are going to be your first flyers on, well, any map. They should be technically, because they are the lowest level saddle requirement at level 38, and they're pretty simple to tame up. All you need is obviously some trank arrows. Now, once you get into bowlable territory where you're able to use your bow and arrow and everything like that, The first tame you should go about really getting is a Pteranodon. Now you can see we've been webbed by this spider, which is absolutely wonderful. And there are no shortages of Araneos in this starting area, so sources of chitin are pretty easy to come by for your Pteranodon saddle. I'm pretty sure it's only like 150 chitin that you actually need. So that's only a couple of spider or scorpion kills. And once you've accomplished those kills, you can then go about getting the stuff required for a saddle. Unless, of course, you get swarmed by a bunch of corrupted raptors, in which case you should probably run for your life. Oh god, that was close. Now, these guys you can't actually knock out as far as I'm aware. You can kill them, but you can't actually knock them out and tame them. But they do provide a decent amount. Okay, I honestly did not expect that to happen. Okay, so before I was rudely interrupted, like I was saying, these guys here, stick around them, they'll give you a chance to get hide, and if they don't kill it, well then you can pretty much go about killing it yourself. You can see here this stego is pretty bloody, and then that gives you a source of meat as well as hide. Now, as well as what I was saying is, Pteranodons are one of the easiest tames to go about getting. They are a very simple meat tame. All you need to do is be able to bowler them and trank arrow them. You can see here that we're only able to do one of these steps, which is get meat. We can't actually bowler them because we are lacking in skills and talent. But pretty much you want to get these... I thought that was going to hit him. Pretty much you want to get the Pteranodons because they'll help you navigate the terrain really easy. They're really low cost and they're really simple to tame. Once you get the Pteranodon, you can pretty much go about exploring the map however you want to. I personally would recommend staying in Sanctuary for a little bit longer, getting a bit more resources and everything like that built up until you're ready to go. Now, once you've got your Pteranodon, you're comfortable with your tools and everything like that, you've got your smithies. If you ever need to go about getting element dust or anything like that, hit the lampposts scattered around the city. You can see there that they grant you element dust as well as crystal. They also sometimes grant you electronics and scrap metal. Now, scrap metal can be used the same way as just regular metal. You just chuck it into a refining forge, and for every 2 scrap metal, it gets refined into 1 scrap metal ingot, I think it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they pretty much work the same as metal. So it's a great way to go about getting extra metal and just making sure you have everything you need. Now, the next course of action, once you've obviously gathered enough element dust and everything like that, is to... These guys allow you to pretty much rove the map and see what you want to see. You can see hostile tames, you can see tames that you want to actually tame, you can see pretty much anything to do with organic life forms, which is a big help in terms of figuring out what you want to actually tame. Now, if you so choose to go about getting a scout drone, or you just want to go on your little adventure to wherever the heck you want to go, the next best place I would really recommend is either the desert or the sunken forest. Now, the reason the desert is because you have access to the Venusaur as well as lots of metal. There is a crap ton of metal out in the desert as well as other resources. So the desert is a very resource-rich environment that you can choose to go to. If you're not happy with going to the desert, go to the forest by all means. The sunken forest is just as good, if not slightly better in my opinion, than the desert because it has the gacha. You guys would have seen all the videos on YouTube now about the gacha and how overpowered he is and everything like that. Well, they're not lying. He's ridiculously overpowered, and all you really need to fuel his need is some stone. Obviously, you can use snow owl pellets to get a bit of better resources, but if you don't, you can just chuck some stone down at him and that'll make him absolutely riveted to see ya. Now, as well as that, one extra advantage of the sunken forest is that there are a lot more beaver dams down there, which means you can get a crap ton more cementing paste. Now, like I said, the desert has access to a lot of metal and everything like that. If you so choose to, you can go about doing it in 2 different areas. It's all entirely up to you and what your kind of playstyle is. Or you can just go about living off the loot of people that you kill. Like I said, it's all up to you guys. Now, in terms of when you should go about doing the orbital drops and everything like that, I wouldn't recommend doing that until you're comfortable with losing tames, because you will more than likely lose a couple of tames while doing an orbital drop. But the payout is definitely worth it, especially if you do like a blue or a red one. You get quite a lot of really good stuff from the orbital drops, so I would definitely recommend doing it. But once you've made your way out of Sanctuary, it's entirely up to you how you want to go playing it. I really recommend staying in Sanctuary for a little bit for the first 30 or 40 levels until you've got enough stuff like metal tools and everything like that. There are nodes of metal scattered around the Sanctuary. It's just a matter of finding them. Normally, if you find the blue crystals, there are some metal nodes nearby. So it's pretty simple to start off, I'm not going to lie, but it all comes down to how you want to play Ark Extinction. if you want, you could just chill in here forever. You know, you don't have to leave the starting area. But the sanctuary is intended to be a starting area, so it's entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it. And like I said before, it's all up to your playstyle. Why are you attacking? Were you attacking a scout? So yeah, guys, I don't really have any more information other than that. You can get your starting tames over in the sanctuary, such as the Yankees, the Dodicks, the Pteranodons. You can also find raptors here, but other than that, it's a relatively peaceful area to start off in. So I'd really recommend starting off in sanctuary. You can start off in other places if you want to. Like I said, it's entirely up to you and your playstyle. So guys, that'll conclude today's video. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments. Let me know if you found it useful. If I missed anything in the video that you guys would have liked to have seen, make sure to let me know as well. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.